Can I say this Lions versus Commanders game is absolutely fucking insane? Like, genuinely. Jane Daniels, man, like, he is playing out of his mind right now. And they have the ball at 24-21. Dude, he's got like this is unbelievable. They're already so close to the end zone. And oh, throws it away. But okay, let's stop talking about the quarterbacks that are playing right now, and let's start talking about dynasty quarterbacks as a whole. We have all a lot of dynasty quarterbacks right here, and we're gonna rank them based on these categories. We're gonna start with keep at all costs, solid starter, listening to offers, cash in on value. These are the four that we know and love from the last one. Then you've got let him develop, good handcuffs slash bench, and drop them. If a quarterback isn't a good handcuff on the bench, you're dropping them anyway. So you're not even keeping them on your bench. Let's see. Daniels drops back, throws, good catch, and now he has his second touchdown pass of the day? I think it's the second pass, yeah. So he just passed it. So Jane Daniels is going to be 14 of 21 for like 241 yards and two touchdowns in the first half. Not to mention 7 for 30. This is absolutely unbelievable game. Oh my god. Okay. Here we go. Let's get started. Aaron Rodgers. I don't like him as a starter. I'm not really listening to. I mean, you guess you can listen to offers from him, but realistically, who's trading for Aaron Rodgers? So honestly, I'm putting him on good handcuff slash bench. He's not someone you want to be starting. Aiden O'Connell, he played solid for the Raiders this year. He's probably gonna be the backup. I'm gonna put him as the good handcuff slash bench too. Andy Dalton as well. Bryce Young's very volatile. He could be shit at any moment. Baker Mayfield, solid starter. He's been playing really well this year, and he was top 10 QB. He was top 5 QB, wasn't he? Top 5 QB. Now, call this a hot take right here. I'm putting Bo Nix in keep at all costs. Bo Nix is an unbelievable prospect as of what he'd done this year. He's exceeded all expectations, and as a rookie, he has so much room to develop, and especially under Sean Payton, we could be seeing like another Drew Brees, if you may. Brock Purdy, solid starter. He's got a really good cast around him, and when those guys are healthy, he's a solid starter. Bryce Young, I'm tempted to put him in the let him develop tab, but I think that he might be. He's good enough to be a starter. That's the thing. He's definitely good enough to be a starter on your team. So I'm listening to offers for him because, he had a great end to the season, but once again, he can have good stretches, but when he has bad stretches, they're very bad. Caleb Williams is one of the guys I'm going to put at let him develop. He had a not great start to the season, and actually, I should say he had a better start to the season than an end to the season, and he was at like a 14 points per game QB. That's not terrible, but you got to sit and let him develop. He's not a guy that you're going to keep on your bench, but you need to let him develop. We're going to drop you. You're the third QB for the Texans. No one cares. CJ Stroud, honestly, cash in on his value, as a pocket passer. If his team isn't performing well, he is not going to be doing well because he has no rushing upside at all, pretty much. So I reckon you cash in on the value of CJ Stroud. I mean, they just lost today to the Chiefs in honestly kind of embarrassing fashion. I know the refs were kind of a bit of an influence on that, but still not very good. Dropping you. Dak Prescott is a very interesting player. He's probably staying on the Cowboys again. And you are going to start him. But I'm listening to offers for Dak. He's a good starter. He's got CeeDee Lamb always, and the rest of that Oh, he didn't catch that ball. The rest of that, what's the word for it? You know, Dak CeeDee Lamb, he's gonna get Ashton Genty or Omarion Hampton. He's gonna get a great running back to also to throw to, and he's got great upside as well. Daniel Jones. I'm just gonna quickly. How do I do this? Add a row below. Here it is. There we go. Okay. We just created a new tier for himself. We're gonna put a. Yeah. Oh no, I can't. I can't have that. Daniel Jones. He gets his own tier. Definitely. Jane Daniels, rushing upside, great QB. You're keeping him at all costs. Sam Darnold is an interesting one. He had a bad end of the season, but honestly, there's a lot of QB needy teams that I'm still putting him as a solid starter in the double flex league. He's a guy that you're going to want to start every week in and out, especially if you're on double flex. If you go somewhere like the Raiders or the Browns, even maybe, like, he could probably do a lot of good work there. Davis Mills, you're honestly dropping Davis Mills. He's not good enough to be. He's not a good enough backup. If CJ Stroud goes down, you're not going to be starting him. Derek Carr is going to be a bench QB. He's not someone you're excited about starting, and is probably going to be replaced soon enough. Okay. Let's add a tier even below Daniel Jones for Massage Watson. He's going to be there. Desmond Ridder, you could probably drop him. Same with Tommy DeVito, even though I love my Italian King. Josh Jobs, you can also drop. These guys are not good enough to be on your bench. Drake May is someone you need to sit and let him less as let him develop and more as let the team develop around him. Drake May is a very good QB, but the issue is that team has zero star power. You guys are all being cut. Justin Fields, probably the best handcuff in the league. Especially if he goes somewhere else, then I'd put him into listening to offers and solid starter. But for right now, he's still a bench QB. I'm keeping him there. Same with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is getting older, but he showed that when he comes into the game, he can actually be a decent backup. You're dropping Jimmy G. Not very good. Geno Smith, cash in on value. He's getting older, and he's probably going to be replaced in the next coming years or so. He had a rough year last year, and they were close to making the playoffs, but they didn't. Jared Goff, I'm throwing him as a solid starter. You have games where he throws 5 touchdowns, and you have games where he throws 5 picks. Need I say any more? Yep, you're going to be in the dropped category. Justin Herbert is still a solid starter. He was great all year. He had a bad playoff run, and honestly, that's just the charging things. And they've shown that they can make it through the regular season and have a great team. So I'm focusing on that. Sam Howell, I'm going to put as a good handcuff / bench. He showed promise in Washington despite all the picks. He's not great, but he's better than the guys you're going to drop. And he also has DK Metcalf and JSN to throw to. Tyler Huntley, you're not going to keep him. Jalen Hurts, you got to keep at all costs. The rushing upside, the tush pushes, you have to keep him. Jameis Winston, honestly, keep him on the bench. He can have some very fun games, and if he starts for a team that has a very good receiver core next year, or even just the Browns again, he's a lot of fun to play around. JJ McCarthy is a prime example of let him develop. He was injured all last year, and he's going to need a little bit of time to develop, especially on your bench. Joe Burrow, keep him at all costs. He's unbelievable. And Jared Goff just threw a pick in the end zone. Wow. I thought he almost got out of that. Dude, the Commanders might actually win this game. They're on track to drop 60. Holy crap. What was I saying? Joe Burrow, no explanations necessary. He's the best pure passer in the NFL. Joe Milton, I'm going to sit him on let him develop because a team could definitely inquire about him and he could become a decent QB. I'm honestly going to put the same thing for Jordan Travis because if Aaron Rodgers leaves and whatever QB they get doesn't end up working out, I feel like Jordan Travis is a great option to replace them and could be decent. So I'm going to let him develop on my bench. Josh Allen, need I say more? He's the best all-around QB in the league. Kirk Chains, listening to offers. Actually, no. I'm going to put in listening to offers. You know, he's not as bad as some of the other QBs here. It's halftime, so I'm going to shut this off real quick so I save my battery. 31-21 at halftime. I'll probably give my thoughts on the divisional in another video. But Kirk Cousins, decent player, can get you points. Listening to offers for him. Kyler Murray is really interesting. I'm putting him as cash in on value, and here's why. He's got a lot of running upside, but this Cardinals team has not gone far with Kyler Murray since 2020 or 2019. You get him Marvin Harrison Jr., you get him Trey McBride, you get him all of this stuff to make this offense work, and he just can't do it. I think Kyler Murray is a backup within 2 years, whether it's next year or the year after. I don't like Kyler Murray. I think you trade him away, get value for him. Lamar Jackson, keep at all costs. What else can I say? Will Levis, he's still going to be a good handcuff, He can have some good games, but not too bad at games. Drew Lock, also a good handcuff. He's probably still going to be the QB2 next year, if I want to say. And for anyone who can put up 41 points in a game, you're at least a decent handcuff. Jordan Love, solid starter. Nothing more to say about that. He can have some good games. He can have some bad games. Mac Jones, I'm putting him as good handcuffs and bench. He really impressed me at the second half of the season. He won games, and he didn't look like a complete dumpster fire, which is great. As much as people hate him, you got to keep Mahomes because he's probably the single most QB, the single QB that has 100% job security, the referees on their side, and doesn't usually get injuries. There's only one QB that has all three of those, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Malik Willis, honestly, was decent as a handcuff. When Jordan Love got hurt, he came in, did very well, although I wish it was Sean Clifford. Kind of same with Marcus Mariota. Did kind of the same thing. Michael Penix, you got to sit and let him develop. He also could be, I know he's technically the starter now. I'm still putting him as let him develop because if I remember correctly, he hasn't even thrown a touchdown yet. So I'm going to put Joe Milton and Jordan Travis at the back of this. We're just going to throw. Nick Mullins can go in there. Kenny Pickett, I'm throwing in there. Anthony Richardson, you need to let Anthony Richardson develop. He has the skills, or he has the core of being a great NFL player, but the issue is that he hasn't been that guy. And I feel like the issue with Anthony Richardson is that people put a huge expectation on him based on the first 5 games of last season before he got that season-ending injury, and they didn't see that type of performance in this season, and people are automatically saying that he's a bust. Cooper Rush, once again, good handcuff and bench. He had a great second half of the season, even though the Cowboys were garbage. Russ, I'm saying he's a good bench player. He's just, that Steelers offense can just get games done, and they really don't need Russ to do it. Sean Clifford, I love you, buddy, but you got to be dropped. Stafford, I'm actually going to throw Stafford in on solid starter, you know. He's got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. He's always going to get... Matthew Stafford is probably the most guaranteed 10 points you're going to get. So he's the definition of just a solid starter. I'm also putting Trevor Lawrence in there in the solid starter category because he's been doing well this year as well until he got that. Or he wasn't really doing well, but Trevor Lawrence was doing well in the past couple of years. He had a very injury-riddled season this year, but he's got the rushing upside with Brian Thomas Jr., you know. There's no telling what Trevor Lawrence can do with him. And these guys, Trey Lance, I'm not putting anywhere. Tua Tagovailoa, cash in on value. CTESPN, all I'm going to say. And we're just going to put everyone here. We'll put Zach Wilson with Daniel Jones for fun because of the New York QBs. So, realistically, these drop categories and then these two are really not ones that you're going to pay attention to more. You really want to pay attention to the ones up here. For most, make sure that you have solid handcuffs. Like if I have Lamar Jackson on my roster, more than likely I'm probably gonna have maybe one of these guys that you would usually drop just in case he gets hurt. But if you have Jaden Daniels, I'm 100% having Marcus Mariota on my roster if I can get him. If I have Trevor Lawrence, I'm 100% having Mac Jones if I can get him. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. And hopefully, honestly, I kind of want the Commanders to win this game. So hopefully they win this, even though I'm a Giants fan. But hopefully they win this game. And please leave a like on this video and comments. Give me some feedback on these lists. Tell me who should be changed around. So yeah.